Welcome to the show, John Paris. You are a drummer, writer, and producer from New Jersey. With your parents both having a musical background, you were sure to follow in their footsteps. Throughout your career, you've recorded with numerous artists such as Whitney Houston, Bob Dylan, Mica Paris, and Meghan Trainor, just to name a few there. In 2001, you joined the legendary Earth, Wind and Fire and have toured globally with them. Your drumming is a key element to the band's distinctive sound, appearing on albums The Promise and Now, Then and Forever. You're also a member of B2B with Eddie Mininfield, blending jazz, soul, R&B and pop. Now, it's fantastic to have you on the show, John. Thank you so much for joining us, and please do tell us more.
My pleasure, man. I'm so glad to be here, man. And with Whitney and Meghan and Bob Dylan, those were records. But we did do some studio and television appearances together, which was great. But man, this is really cool, man. I'm glad to be here. And speaking of inspiration, this brother was somebody that I followed around for years, man. And we wanted to do what he was doing. We wanted to learn how to write. We wanted to learn how to produce, and he was doing that on a high level when we were kids and singing his butt off. So kudos, man. I always wanted to tell you publicly, man, how much
Are you trying to say I'm old or something, man?
Oh, well, no, man. I'm just saying.
That's cold-blooded. Hey, man, listen, I love you so much. I mean, like, all these years, we wasn't after our purpose right then, our own thing.
Absolutely.
I used to be on a basketball team with Philip Bailey.
Oh,
we played on a team for Donna Summers. She had her own church in Hollywood, right?
Wow. Okay.
And we were on the team together. And matter of fact, I remember us playing Denzel Washington at Hollywood High School, his team.
Oh, Denzel's a bully.
He slammed on people, man. Come on, man. I'm about to step on his foot or something. But well, I've been on over 2,500 records, but it's all about me doing somebody else all these years.
Right? Understood. Yeah. Absolutely.
And now I'm finally doing Skyler Jett, which is music for global change, lyrics that heal, educate, and solve problems over any type of music. Right. And that's where our movement is about, man. So
100%.
This new project, are you guys, is it lyrical too?
Yeah. We have most of our buddies that came up loving on us. This first single, we had our sister Cy Smith on sing some hooks and some lyrical ad libs, and there's another one. I won't say the title, but our young brother Dave Hollister's on there. Eddie and I both are gonna probably go ahead and get on that mic too. They've been nudging us for years, so yeah, it's maybe 50-50, but I think after this point, there are going to be some more lyrical hooks and stuff, because as you touched on, the lyrical content is crucial, for how we ended up where we ended up. There were some things that I heard as a child that let me know, well, damn, I could do this too, huh? He just said
exactly
it.
Right.
I love the way he said that. It would register you, so yeah, we're going to absolutely start creeping that way.
Well, with Earth, Wind and Fire lyrical content is consciousness too, right?
100%. When Marie said on the vamp of that song, "Be ever wonderful, don't let the world change your mind," I took that personal. I literally felt like he was talking to me, and I'm like, because I was going through something at that point too, where the world was changing my mind. I started believing it, watching all this television and being in the hood, where we came up, and the repetition of, what we would hear, from some of our constituents, man. It started getting under my skin, because, how difficult and what the level of time and dedication that it takes to do what we do, man, it can kind of be like, ooh, did I make a mistake?
Oh, wow.
When he said that, and I was already loving them in the earlier 70s, I'm like, okay, you know what? Sink or swim, I'm going in. There is no plan B. Plan B is plan A. Let's go.
Man, you took that job, and my God, 1991, my mom and my dad died 8 months apart. It was transitional too, because
of course
I got way into my consciousness, right? Actually, 1984 is when I wrote my first conscious song with Ronald LaPrade, the bass player of the Commodores.
Yeah.
And I was living with him down there in Alabama, in Tuskegee, right?
Mm.
Matter of fact, we just had him on, what, talking about 3 weeks ago or something like
Yeah, a
that.
couple of
He
weeks
was on the
back.
show.
Yeah.
Shoot, man. And Eric Daniels, you remember all the family?
Come on. Come on, man. Are you kidding me? I'm telling you. Okay, so Eric Daniels, this man here, Jay Logan, our brother Taj, all of y'all, man, you guys, Jay Logan was the guy that literally snatched me and pulled me into the music room because I was so shy. The only time I would come out, maybe, playing basketball a little bit, I was, mildly competitive. But anything other than that, I was just so apprehensive about letting anybody know what I didn't have quite mastered yet, because
Mm.
in the Bay Area, you would see toddlers that were amazing.
Yeah.
So, I didn't really start letting folks know that I wanted to do this until I was, mid-teens. And Jay was like, look, we're doing this. He pulls me in the room and there's all these people I just previously mentioned. I'm like, oh man, okay. Oh golly, I got to get on this, right? So yeah, man, it was all around us, man, and it was a blessing, man. I thank God for those days. All our
Yeah,
brothers, they
so
didn't
much.
give up on me, man. They kept pulling me along. I was like the one dragging my feet, but I dove in because, that one time when your buddies tell you, yeah, we're gonna try this other drummer right quick for a minute. We call you, in a couple of years. That feeling right there.
Yeah.
They hung out with me. They still loved on me, but I wasn't ready and they let me know. So I, got in that shed, man. You would never guess what song, too. I'm in the band with Jay, our brother Dave Agent, and Stanley Davis was playing guitar, and I could not play like, I couldn't really make it feel right. Shining Star.
Oh, wow.
How
Wow.
about that?
Wow.
It's like,
Wow.
yeah, you come back later. I'm like, oh man, okay.
And here you are.
And
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
Amazing, man.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Now, do you write lyrics?
I wrote a couple. There's a couple songs that I wrote there, but yeah, man, that's another thing that I'm trying to figure it out because once I hear it and it gets me, I'm like, that's exactly what I wanted to say. I can feel it in the colors and the tune that'll come to me if I'm producing something or I'm writing something, and I can't get to the level yet. That's just wasn't. It's not one of my
I'm going to
gifts.
help you with that.
Please do, man.
No,
I
no, no. I
received that.
teach writing lyrics. So
Oh,
you and I will get together on, and I'm going to teach you just a fast technique and you'll be flying from there.
I received that, brother. Let's get
I love
it.
it. Tom?
just really off the back of what you've just kind of alluded to, sounds like because you were in such fantastic company with the bandmates that you had, did that kind of spur you on? Was that testament to why you've become the amazing drummer that you are? Is it kind of just keep practicing, and then you felt you were then sort of good enough to join the ranks? Is that how it went for you?
I never felt I was good enough, and I'm still digging, but you're
Hmm.
absolutely right, man. We were so blessed to have the level of talent and mentorship. Growing up on the East Coast, in Trenton, we would get the radio stations from New York. So a lot of Afro-Cuban stuff, a lot of, high-level jazz. So when I moved to the Bay, I instantly looked up the Escovedos because I heard about them
Hmm.
even on the East Coast, dove right in. I was blessed enough to meet them later and hung out with them. So a lot of the credit goes to that family from the people
Wow. Yep.
that I was
Yeah,
exposed to at a very early age, man. And the difference was that they would spend time with you, like my brother Skyler just mentioned. We're gonna show you how to do this, but you got to put the time in.
actually
Yeah.
pulling you along, kind of saying, well, keep going, keep trying that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I mean, I did want it, but they got me off the treadmill because you can spend a lot of time, wasting energy
Yeah.
going in the wrong direction. But yeah, you're absolutely right, man. Being surrounded by those group of families, man, it was 1,000,000%, the reason that I was at the right place at the right time
Yeah.
a lot.
So you from Trenton?
Yeah, I was born in Trent, bro.
When did you move out to Cali?
71.
I went the opposite direction. I went from Oakland to Asbury Park.
Asbury. Quick question. Why?
No, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you. So there was an all white band in New Jersey, and they said, Skyler, we want you to come out.
Oh,
They was in love with Tower of Power.
oh,
So it was a
got it.
horn band and all that. We got a singer from Oakland. Okay.
Oh,
So
yeah.
they had me come out there, man. I was 19 years old, and I opened for Bruce Springsteen twice with
I
that
never
band.
knew that.
No, you know the crazy thing is when we, Asbury Park had a serious riot,
Mm.
way back in the 60s. And so this brother saw us playing at this event, and he said, man, I want you to come play my club, right? And we went down there, man, and they were scared because they were all white, right?
Yeah.
Because it's in the hood, right?
Yeah.
And so, but he loved us, right? So we went down there and played, man.
Something Pony. What was it called, Skyler?
Well, that was the Stone Pony. But we
Stone
played this
Pony.
other black club where this guy loved us, but when we went to go play, and we kicked so much ass. Now, I'm telling you, these guys were nervous to go play there. It's like,
Yeah.
Skyler, you talk for us, and but
Yeah.
man, we played it and killed it. When we took our break, everybody in the audience was sending drinks to these brothers, right?
Come on.
And they had the most beautiful experience because we was scared to go play this club, and now
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
had so much fun.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying. Music will knock it out of the park, man.
Yo, every time. Every time. What was the name of that band, man? You got to have some footage.
No, we called Night Shift. The Night
Out of
Shift.
Asbury Park.
And the trippy thing is, see, I start playing up and down the shore, and we would play these parties, man, and the club, and then we went to play Stone Pony, and now it's historical, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Stone
But-
Pony. That's funny you bring up Tower of Power because of all the influences that I had when I was younger. Like we spoke of earlier, my parents loved the jazz. My mother was in love with Betty Carter and Sarah Vaughan, and
Oh yeah, my mom
father
too.
loved,
Yeah.
Billy Eckstein. The musicians for those singers are exquisite, of course. Pearl Bailey and Louis Bellson. So from that, I was bouncing back and forth. But my grandmother loved the R&B, James Brown, Motown. My uncle was loving Zeppelin and the Beatles. So I got all of this music in my head, when I was a kid. And so when I moved to San Francisco first, and I heard Tower Power, I was like, okay, that's it. That's it. That's not like everything I ever heard in one band. So I'm like, I got to learn how to do that.
Yeah. You know what's great, man? It's like now I've been traveling all around the world like you, and there's music lovers everywhere, man.
Yeah.
And I'm pissed off at my country because, well, we didn't have the internet, certainly.
Yes.
Right. But still, they should have introduced us to more people from different countries to collaborate with. Music for Global Change is about that. I'm introducing writers from each side so they can collaborate with each other, right?
Oh, this is great.
And now you open up a whole new fan base.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
You know what I mean, Tom?
Yeah.
Another question there then, John. Why drums? Was it just you were kind of a kid that used to like bashing pots and pans and stuff, or was it just beat? What brought you into the drums?
Funny story, man. They tell me, when I got older that there was a rhythm thing going on in my body, I imagine, but I would always, and my grandmother, by the way, I spent a lot of time with her. She didn't play. She was one of those women that would just give you that look, and that's all it took.
From the South,
She
man.
just, yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what she's from, Atlanta, right? So, well, Patterson. And whatever she said, that was it. And she trained us so early that we don't even remember, when there was ever a time we thought about challenging her, right? So I used to go instinctively set the pots and pans up like the drum set that I would see downstairs in the cellar.
Okay.
That was the only thing she would let me get away with. That boy know what he doing. Leave him alone. Because she could see that I was
Right.
trying to emulate a drum set, and I would start banging on them. So, and I didn't even know this at the time because I was still trying to, do other stuff, trying to play basketball and
Yeah.
run around ringing people's doorbells and running and stuff for fun. I didn't know it had always instinctively been there. So when I got the opportunity, well, they got tired of me beating a hole in the couch too. So I'd have a drum here and there,
Yeah.
but when I came to Cali, as I got my first drum set, I mean, that was it.
Seventh
Martial
heaven.
arts and drums, that's it.
You play other instruments too?
Oddly enough, guitar was like my favorite, like my first favorite instrument. I didn't really get into it, but I'd always mimic my aunt played guitar. My aunt Reed, she played guitar, and I would mimic her.
Mm.
She'd sit in a chair, and I'd grab the guitar this way, and so people think I'm left-handed because I was mirroring her.
Right.
Oh,
So I played
wow.
the bass lines,
Yeah.
on the guitar, and it eventually evolved into harmonies because I'm like, man, I love that song. It was a couple of songs actually by the Carpenters, and some of the stuff the Beatles were doing was insane to me. I couldn't figure it out at first, but I was attracted to it. So
I
eventually
love
the
that
portal thing started happening.
when you say
Yeah.
the Carpenters. And
Yeah.
uh, that was a cool thing about the Bay Area because we were pretty versatile.
Yes.
It's a multicultural kind of area. That's what I love because if you look at Bill Graham,
Mhm.
he had all those bands, Santana and Journey, and so many others, Clearwater. And
Yes.
when you go see them,
Yeah.
you go, I don't really listen to this kind of music, but it's damn good.
Right.
The quality is great.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That was I think the thing that also saved my life. Where I came up was very segregated. And I moved to Daly City, California first.
Yeah.
And you know how integrated it was there. I mean, it was the first time I'd ever even seen a Filipino person. I didn't even know what that was,
Wow.
It's all of us, white folks, black folks, Asians, everybody living on the same block, hanging out, speaking, saying hi. I'm like, I didn't know, how different it was, the cultures was. So musically, it was the same way. It was so diverse. If you couldn't really play the Parliament Funkadelic, or then you had to play some reggae, some third world stuff, then you had to play some Rick Springfield or some White Snake, and it wasn't authentic. That next band was coming in.
Yeah.
So I was lucky enough as a child to had just heard music. There was no genderized radio back then. Being in the Bay was like, oh man, this is what it is. It's like you just said it. It's good or bad.
It opened up a whole new thing, man.
Absolutely.
Because, when you think of Tower Power, they playing in Oakland in the ghetto. I remember they used to play across the street from the police station. It'd be packed. Man, you gotta come see these white dudes, man. They funky as hell. You know what I mean? But you know what I'm saying? And then Sly, I looked at the lyrical content that Sly was talking about. He wasn't talking about, hey, baby, you hurt me. And all that. No, I'm everyday people.
Woo!
I want to take you higher.
That is amazing. I was just thinking about how underrated of a songwriter he was. When that man said stand, I believed him.
He's writing social conscious music.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
I didn't know that till I was in the band, man, because I got to tell you something. When I look back, them songs, Motown and all them tunes like that, a lot of them songs are under 3 minutes.
Yeah.
I learned so much from the producer I was working with, that get right to the hook, man. Don't be dilly-dallying around, you know what I mean? Keep people's attention, you know what I'm saying? I know you have to love it, sitting in a position up there on the drums, and you seeing the audience sing the lyrics that everybody else in the band is singing.
Instantly.
That's the most beautiful feeling in the world, man. And they know every lyric. When I was singing 3 Times a Lady in China, when I was a Commodore, they were singing 3 Times a Lady back to me. And I'm like, these people can't even speak English. That's how powerful it is. You know what I'm saying?
Crosses all the lines of anything that you can imagine. But that's the instant gratification, man, that you get, because you're in the struggle the whole time. You know, sometimes you feel like you're on the hamster wheel because you're not making enough money, but you got to do this and you got to
Yeah.
do that. And you got to spend your time getting this polished. And, you know, next thing you know, you're in front of all these people doing exactly what you said, and you get it back and you go, oh man, this is
This
beautiful.
is this is what it's about. Tom?
Yeah.
Well, as I said in the intro there, you have recorded with so many different artists. You've obviously toured as well over the years. Any particular highlights you've had?
There's a bunch of them, man. I can't believe my life, fellas, to be honest with you. But man, the audition with Madhouse, which was a group, basically consists of the Revolution from Prince's band with Levi Ceaser on bass.
Right.
Eric Leeds was playing sax, and Matt the Doctor playing keyboards. Most of our family was already out there, as you know, Skyler. So I missed the Purple Rain tour because I was down there with Don Cornelius playing with O'Brien, my brother. Romy Geroso called me for that. We were doing a project earlier, and they heard about it, and I went down there and I signed. Sheila calls, yo, Purple Rain. I'm not about to cross that Chicago gangster Don Cornelius. That wasn't about to happen, right?
Yeah.
So I stayed. I missed that tour. Later on, I did get the call though. So to be in the room, with the likes of those musicians on that level,
Greatness.
and Prince he was an analogy genius. He would know how to get what he needed out of you, and then you would go, of course. Sometimes it could be a little uncomfortable, if it's something that you hadn't done a lot, but somehow, man, he would just like an incredible coach, he would figure out a way. And I took a lot of those jewels that I'm using today. And speaking of him, our dear brother Robert Brookins was producing some stuff. Prince would if there's something that he couldn't do, he would give to some friends or somebody that he knew. So he was doing a record on Dale Bozio. It was actually a song that ended up on the Time record, Latest Fashion. Yeah, the Time ended up in doing it. But myself, Eddie, Bobby Gonzalez, and a bunch of other folks, Bobby G, end up playing on this record. But we're at Sunset Sound. And, Sunset Sound, in the middle, they got a little basketball court there. So I'm out there shooting regular. And I see this guy come out, got a hat on and stuff. I can't really see his face. And he walks right up to me. So I give him the ball. I don't look at him because, we're just shooting around.
Right.
Boom. And he's clanging them and shooting them over I'm like, man. And he goes, right when I'm about to go, man, this dude, like, what the heck is going on? He starts speaking and he says, I'm not going to try to do the accent because it's terrible. But he says, this is the only place I know you can come out, shoot basketball on your break and see the stars. It's beautiful. Yeah. I looked over and it was Bob Dylan. I'm like, wow. Oh my God. I'm shooting basketball. And I was just getting ready to start talking some mess. And it was Bob Dylan.
Wow. You know what's great, man, is because I did the same thing. I played a basketball to my first year in college, played for Chabot. But but the trippy thing is, I love basketball because you have to with speed, you see the ball coming from every direction, and that's really, and then you got to, in a split of second, you got to play. If they steal the ball from you, now you got to go to defense. So all that stuff is great on the brain, man. You know what I mean? Along with music and stuff like that. So, and listen, brother, hold on. I got to say this. I love you. And thank you for the privilege of your time to take today.
It's my
Come
privilege.
on and hang out with us over here at Music Global Change Broadcast.
Absolutely, man. I got to give it back to you, brother. I miss you, man, so much, and I love you to pieces, man. And we got to do this more often. Like you said, it's been 100 years. You've been so inspirational and supportive and encouraging to me, man, my whole career. I appreciate you, man. And Brother Tom, you got a new brother.
Oh, thank you, John. Appreciate it. I just want to add,
anytime.
Thank you.
You guys let me know anytime I can help with anything. I got you.
Just want to ask, John, for everybody that's listening, are you on any kind of social media so they can follow you or catch up what you're up to?
Yeah, I just jumped on, man. I avoided it as long as I could, and I'm terrible with it. But I'm Instagram, John Parrish Drummer. That
All right.
easy. Yeah, man. And
All right.
it's connected to Facebook also. So
Bless up. Bless up.
Thanks, John. Appreciate you coming.
thank you
Bless
guys,
up,
man.
baby.
I appreciate y'all
All right,
so
brother.
much. All the love.
Music can save the world. Music can save the world. If we all get together, music can save the world. Yeah. Music can save the world. Music can save the world. If we all come together, music can save the world. There's an urgency facing our humanity.
Thank you so much for watching. To stay up to date, please click subscribe and hit the bell. You can also join our group on Facebook and find us on LinkedIn and Instagram.